Hello, good evening, Vanakkam, everybody. Welcome and welcome to this small talk on direct live interview with Dr. Nandini Azad, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming to the show. And as we all know, Dr. Nandini Azad, in the field of cooperative sites, no need of introduction, ma'am is the president and the chairperson, and for ICPRD, and I'm sure uh, she has done a lot of work on cooperative network for women, and she's a social activist, cooperator, and so many awards to her, and a passionate woman who wants to work for the empowerment of the women. All right, and ma'am, we want to thank you so much for being online. And the entire objective of this interview is going to be for the community, whoever is listening, whoever is watching this today, all right, is now or even after recording, to see the life story of Dr. Nandini Azad, to see a story of how from the childhood, from age to age, going from India to US, doing PhD, in some of the remotest places and one of the best universities. I'm sure, if I'm not wrong, ma'am, in anthropology, way back in the 1983, you did your PhD from the renowned top universities, then came to India. So we will show also during this small talk, ma'am's website, what do they do, the impact what Dr. Azad has created, amazing impact for so many people, so many stories, so many states, so many countries. Even in the Vietnam War, I was so amazed to see how war-torn widows, ma'am made them into become entrepreneurs. Am I right, ma'am? Such a great thing. You went on flight
Cambodia.
Cambodia, and you also went on the fighter planes during the war. Such a courageous person who brought change to people. So, ma'am, thank you so much. Ma'am, can I show your small video before we start to everybody? Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sharing the screen so that you also can see it. And I just want to play this when ma'am got a Lifetime Achievement Award. Ma'am, it's visible for you there?
Yeah, very well. இங்கே உட்காந்துக்கலாம் நீ. ஏய், இங்கே உட்காந்துக்கலாம். பின்னாடி உட்காந்து. வாய்ஸ் இல்லையா அவங்களுக்கு வரணும் எனக்கு வியூவர்ஸ் உனக்கு உனக்கு பதிலா அங்க பார்த்ததுக்கு நான் 10 கிலோ குறைஞ்சு.
All right. So what we saw in the video was a Lifetime Achievement Award from Mega TV, and you saw from ma'am from the time she was born till going to the US and doing. And this is the website of Indian Cooperative Network for Women, which ma'am has created. And I request all of you, whenever you get time, please go to this and see the success stories, the impact, and the success stories. As a professor of sociology who talks about society and impact, when I was reading each of the success story, all right, Amuda success story in Vellore, all right, and flower gardening people, different people. When ma'am can create such a big impact, I'm sure today we are talking to a person who has not just spoken about things, but she is a doer. Dr. Nandini Azad, thank you so much for coming to this talk show. We welcome you on behalf of VIT University and on behalf of our Chancellor, Dr. J. Vishwanathan sir, our Vice President, All of us as VIT family, we welcome you. Ma'am, we just want to get to know a little bit about yourself. Um, how did you have this passion, all right, in the year 1983, all right, those way back when India was still, in the developing stage? You went to the US, you did from the top universities, your PhD, and after doing PhD from the top university, you chose to come back to the country, all right, and to work for the people. How did all this start? Generally people who go to US, they settle in big there, but you came to change people's life. How did all this happen, ma'am?
Actually, let me answer your first question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said, yeah, you said that how did you get the passion?
Yes.
I didn't get any passion. It was there at home. My grandmother in the 1940s from an upper caste family
Yeah.
said marriage is not the only option in life.
Good.
She in the 40s and two of my aunts remained unmarried because they
Okay.
became professionals. They became a professor like you. The
Okay.
first political PhD for political studies PhD in Madras University was my aunt,
Okay.
1950s. The
50s.
other aunt was a professor of music. So therefore, education was my birthright. And
Yes.
therefore, going to Syracuse was not easy. I had
Yes.
50 rupees on me. And I went to the USIS in Chennai, sat in the, libraries,
Mm.
collected 1,000 names of universities because I didn't have a scholarship. So
Okay.
therefore, I wrote with that 50 rupees and taking more for postage and applied to all of them. Out of that, 3 people replied,
Wow.
whoever had to offer me any scholarship. So
Okay.
one of them became very interested in me because she was an Indologist. So
Okay.
she was very keen. The second thing that attracted them was I left a 3-year-old to go to the US to study.
Oh
So
God.
they said a South Asian woman from a traditional household, going to study, leaving the family and a small child, we must help her. So
Okay.
therefore, they were very supportive of
Okay.
my um, situation too. Third is in terms of then they gave me a tuition waiver. My professors came to India every year, so
Wow.
my thesis was submitted like that. I did my comprehensive there for a year.
Okay.
So on Saturday
Okay.
evening, when everybody would go out to a movies, I would be crying and finishing up my thing, thinking of my 3-year-old. However,
Okay.
I was one of the few American and South Asian and other foreign students to have finished a PhD.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Many of them dropped out, you see.
Okay.
And I was hardly 31 then. And
And this you're talking
I
about
came
1983 time, the 80s, early 80s.
83 I joined,
Yeah.
87 I got opportunities to go for conferences and I use that. Nobody had that sort of money to send you abroad to study.
True.
So therefore that was one. And also my food was a big problem for me. It's not like
Mm.
now. There was
Yeah.
no Indian food in Syracuse where I was. There was one Korean food stall. So there
Okay.
was a lot of challenges. But,
Hmm.
being a good student, because in my MPhil also I nearly got a gold medal. So being a very passionate student, you've left your family and gone to do what you needed to do. So, and my PhD was on women in cooperatives in Tamil Nadu. So I am
Okay.
a continuum from where I started up to.
Yes. Yes. So, ma'am, just a message to the youth, because today everyone, they do research, they do everything, and just to go and get into a professor job. But you, as a role model, you did your research and you used your research to a real impactful thing. So, can you just tell us a little bit about what made you to think that, I have to get into this in Tamil Nadu for the women? There is a story behind a story. There is a story behind a story. So, we want to know what made you to this and impact so many people's life.
See, you see, my mother is a legendary social worker with a Padma Shri, Dr.
Yes,
Jaya Arunachalam, who
Dr. Jaya
started all
Arunachalam.
these. Now, I saw it at home.
Yeah,
So
okay.
for my wedding, there were 3,000 women from the informal sector who had come. It was,
Okay.
elitists, telemaris, middle class, but there were these poor women who had come for the thing. So we grew with that. And I was
Okay.
basically of a mind where For me, class doesn't matter at all. I'm just a social activist who likes to interact. For me, this up and down never bothered at all. So
All right.
therefore, you have to have that nature, one. Second is, our Syracuse put a lot of research capabilities in me. When I went to the US, I thought I spoke the best English and wrote the best papers. So the first paper I submitted, I still remember, Michael was the name of the professor. He made me do this the comprehensive of 3 pages. And I thought, my God, my English, and look at all the English of everybody from the Middle East. I had 50 scratches on 3 papers. Now, this sort of training, scientific training, hard rigor, and your extra reading in the libraries, because I'd never seen a library where you tap into the computer and then the books came up talking about 83. So these supports allow you to develop effectiveness.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's a message what the viewers have to understand. So with you, ma'am, with your kind permission, I want to tell you the background. A daughter of a Padma Shri, all right, and a father-in-law who was a former Bihar chief minister. Am I correct, ma'am? Yeah. This much, from the CM family, from the Padma Shri background, having such a elite thing, ma'am chose to just cut off all the barriers, all right, keep no hedges, and working with the downtrodden people. If that is a message what we can take from ma'am today, from Dr. Nandini Azad, I'm sure many people can get inspired, and especially women. Leaving a young child at the age of 3, going to the US and coming meritorious is not a joke. Ma'am, what are the challenges now you see during this COVID, during this, all shutdown? What are your observations from your organization for the women per se? Small vendors.
No, right. I'll go from where you left. See, the point is, one of the things that COVID has shown is it has equalized everybody.
Yes.
Prime ministers, presidents, street hawkers, vendors, everybody got COVID-19. You couldn't stop it. Yeah. Here was a situation where everybody got into it. Some cured, some not. Some film stars couldn't get over with all the money in the world. Yeah. Therefore, the first thing to do is treat everybody as a human being. And
Wonderful.
don't think of what the world has bestowed on you. Chief Minister, Member of Parliament. That is nothing. COVID will attack you even if you're a Member of Parliament or a Chief Minister. Therefore, remember, treat everybody alike. And once you don't have that attitude, you can win many battles. That's I think the other thing you told me why I didn't stay back in the US.
Yes.
I went to the US to study. My brother went to the US to study. My daughter went to MIT. My son-in-law's from MIT. Nobody stayed there. And we are proved right today. Nobody, 25% of the US American Indians are returning now.
Back,
because they find, the fatality rate for COVID is so much lower here in Tamil Nadu compared to there. You look at the real estate. People are renting homes from the US and buying homes in the last 2 weeks because the safety, and people are getting pink slips. So better to be in your own country. Country is doing very well.
Wonderful.
I mean, it may be less 50,000, less 25,000. But then you have the comfort of so many different things, you see.
Yes. So that's a great message what Dr. Nandini is giving us, that, even though the entire family studied in US and top-notch universities, I'm sure, ma'am, the university which you went, I think they started in 1800 and, I don't know, I thought somewhere it's 1800.
Oh, actually, what is interesting is, this is the best public policy school, Maxwell School of Citizenship, in the whole of the United States. It is only equivalent to Kennedy at Harvard.
Oh, wow.
So, and I studied at Maxwell. So, in 83. So public policy, international development, all of that was there. Women's studies, so new. Women's studies just started that year. So one had that intellectual advantage actually.
Great, ma'am. And can you just tell us, how does your entire organization work? You're giving so much supply to so many downtrodden women, and their lives are changing. So a little message on this, credit, microcredit. How do you, come and empower these people? What is the model so that others also can be like you?
For example, if you look at, the very poor women, whether in Andhra Pradesh or in Telangana or here, if you look at the hawkers, and when you go to Palakolu, market where we work, in East Godavari, West Godavari areas, the lace makers or in the market, what you see is that one of the major issues When my mother started the organization, she was in a political outfit. And
Mm-hmm.
she found that the political people were calling them for rallies and forgot about it. That was it.
Okay.
She
Okay.
said every time there was a tsunami or the flood, you have to give them something. So she asked 800 women, what do you want? They said, madam, the money lenders are giving high interest. If you can kindly make sure and give us alternate credit, it will be very nice. We went to the nationalized banks. They gave 4% DRI credit. But the men there, she's smelling of fish. How dare she come in? She's not, coming from the fish market.
Okay.
Coming from the fish market, coming from the fish market, you see, is that is a job. So she's coming and smelling like that. So then we said, let us start our own cooperative, because women, it is women run, of women, for women. She can come with a child and feed. There is a loo. Many of these banks didn't have a loo for women. Pregnant women also could not face that. So therefore, this situation was that, the needs of poor women were not looked at by nationalized banks, and male officers who had these middle class patriarchal attitudes did not treat women. So therefore, you need to sit with the women, find out what they want, not what you want. And that is a mistake that the elite and the middle class do. Go sit with them, be normal, and find out what you want. So some may say water, some may say credit. Large number of entrepreneurs will say, give us easy credit. They don't mind paying you 12%. But they are saying, it's not a woman's bank, we want to go there. Husbands shouldn't suspect us. We should be part of an organization of 10 women. So 10 women, then they become, regional. There is an area leader, then a regional leader, there is in Madras, we've got 3 parts: central, state, south and north.
South and north.
So each one has its own groups of 10. We have 600,000 workers, we have got 50,000 groups. So there will be 5, 7 or 10 people in a group. Each one support each other, they stand for collateral. We don't take collateral.
Wonderful.
So that is how we started, with very small loans of 100 rupees, 200 rupees. And then these women have now taken 20 loans. They have sent few of them have sent their children, they become engineers, doctors, MBAs, etc.
Wow.
They're all educated. Tamil Nadu is like that.
Yeah.
So even among, in Andhra also, we find that these women have done. They were lace makers a lot, fish sellers. Then there was, small, entrepreneurs. So therefore, I think credit, awareness, that don't get the profit and give it to your mother-in-law or give it to an alcoholic husband. Invest it back, diversify, hold staff. That it is a small business. So however big or smaller businesses, we've got to see the growth in that, that not only profits, but more employees, more investment, diversification, technology. From being a head loader, she starts taking a cycle, then they take a motorbike, then they take a cart with the wheels. Wow. Then they set up a shop, so that is technology. I mean, growth doesn't mean that, growth means you have 2 hens, you sell them and buy 2 goats. From 2 goats, you go to cattle and have milk. From that, you buy a piece of land. You make family farming and, horticulture or sericulture or whatever you do in that area. So that is growth.
Wonderful.
Then you invest on education for the girls. We insist on education for girls. If they do not invest, take a dowry, we take a very poor view of giving the next loan.
Okay. So there you kept a milestone for everyone, that it's not just about earning, all right, and it's about again reinvesting and then bringing it bigger. So, ma'am, what is your message to the? Let's talk about the modern now. Now the girls who are studying, or the boys, the young youth of this generation, all of us want sophisticated life, bada salary, period salary, all. What's your message? Because you have seen the world 50 years before, right? And you left all the sophistications abroad in the US, but you're making others' life impact. Can you please give a short message to the youth, especially the present students today, all right? So as to how they can take up careers.
For example, again, I come back to COVID-19.
Okay.
COVID has proven that you can live on less. For example, none of the offices are working. They're all working from home. That's one example. I noticed that when I had 20 staff, I was doing better with only 10 staff now. And then I realized, why should I have more staff? So that's one. Second is, at home, many of us have to do our own work. We realized that we cannot have staff. We can do things on our own. What I'm trying to tell you is simplify your life. The
Okay.
more complicated you make it in a disaster like this, you can't deal with it. Simply, you can't deal with it. So therefore, earn, be happy, live for the present. Because if you have too many EMIs, too many loans, and too many mortgages, at a time like this, it will crash if you don't have a background. So better to keep it simple, even among food. You now, takeaways are so difficult. You can't bring in food there. You don't want to bring in food. Then, so therefore, remember all that. Keep it very basic, enjoy. But remember that the world after COVID will not be the same again. So remember that if you're going to be flying, I mean, this is like a pandemic that will not go away soon. Like HIV, WHO ambassador on COVID-19 told us on a dialogue, it's not going to go, it's going to be like HIV/AIDS. And after some time, HIV/AIDS has now got its own vaccines. People get it, people don't get it. But, now we are now in a very, very, it's a flux of a situation now. So this is what the message I'm saying. Keep it simple. Don't be too greedy. Do some service to anybody around and feel happy about it. And that I noticed in COVID-19, people who don't know you are helping you. There's a lot of helping spirit. It's like the community spirit is back again. This is what I noticed.
Even like last time when our Chennai, Tamil Nadu was flooded, people just came from nowhere. Help was coming from all over. And then that's how we started. So, my dear friends.
No, you don't. I don't know whether you remember, Mr. Solomon, during tsunami. Unlike now, the government had withered away, and the NGOs and the citizens groups and the local groups took over Pondicherry and Tamil Nadu. We didn't need the government at all. Because at that time, there was so much of spirit. They were going to the sea, taking the mangroves, cleaning up the people who are dead, serving canteens and everything. So, whichever religion you belong to, be spiritual and give. Little bit, whatever you can.
Yes. Give and it will be given back to you. Right? So
well, you don't need to expect that. Why do you need to expect? It will happen.
It will happen.
Don't expect it.
That's a good message. Yeah. So give without any expectation and it'll happen. Yeah. Ma'am, can you just throw a light on any one success story which is very close to your heart? Someone who was nowhere was crushed under, because in my course on sociology, we have this women studies little bit, women movements in India, all right, Dalit movements in India. So I'm sure you worked on the field, and can you share your little experience of any one case whom we can recall that she was no.
I can't say that because
so many.
90% of my women are Dalit, Adi
Wow.
Dravida, Adi Kannada, whatever, Fisher women, whatever. They all came not only from poverty, but social oppression of wife beating, drunkenness, 5 children, disease. It is a terrible situation. So we have to have a multi-pronged attack. First of all, no 5 children. Stop with 2 children. We have to do so many things to clean up the mess. Because even if you get 10,000 rupees, you have 5 children, they won't go to anybody. You can't educate them. So then the other thing is focus on the boy child. We moved that and said both are equal. Focus, invest on the girl child. So now these women are not immediately marrying the child marriage at 15 and 16, which are illegal, but going ahead. So therefore, I think that every one of them is a story. It's a story. It's a story that all of them had multiple disabilities. And then they won because they had an organization. They call this Amma Vida. They call it the mother's home. So with any issue, they can come here, they can sit down, they are feeding. He has beaten us, tell us where, can we go to the police station? That's our Loni of 10 times. So I'm Akka. Amma was Amma. So it's a family. So therefore we have to help.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. So I just want to, before we conclude, I want all the viewers to please go to ma'am's website, their organization, anything, all right? We just see their impact. Ma'am, I just want to show to them, you also can see it there. When we are seeing this video, how much impact these people have created, all right? So, my dear audience, whoever it is, um, when you see ma'am's profile, when you see ma'am's work, all right, I just heard you talking last week ago, I think so, to Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Harshvardhan, all right, and that small video made me so impact that how Dr. Nandini Azad can do so much during the times of COVID also, all right. This passion, I'm sure today when ma'am fought way back, even for the 33% for the women's right, everywhere, not just in one place. You just tell the name, ma'am says, okay, we've been there. All right, I just told her from Vijayawada, then she told the whole history of the entire place, where, what, and how. So I hope this message through this short video, if one woman can think that all of us are equal, and if Dr. Nandini Azad can do it, all right, I'm sure with all the teamwork, with all of us, we can make our nation so proud. And especially all the women, if you're watching there, I would request you please go to Dr. Nandini Azad ma'am's website, and I would also show it on the screen just if you people want to make a note of it. All right, this is the website icnw.in, icnw.in. All right, and there is a contact there down. Anything you can support. For example, I'm from the university side, so me as a faculty and my student, we want to support by doing any documentaries, by writing up some stories, by doing up things to help. Right, so as to if all of us can do something, you can see their impact stories, where they've done and how much they have done. This is just mind blowing how women have been empowered so much. And if Dr. Nandini Azad can do it, it's such a great thing that all of us can work. So I just want to show you in the YouTube. You just put the word Dr. Nandini Azad and see how many videos, top talks, right? Not only in India, all right? Even in big, this was I think so in UNSCSW
United
in the New
Nations,
York.
yeah.
Yeah. So this was in March 2019, I guess. So, ma'am, could you just throw little
I,
light on?
I opened the India panel. I was
Okay.
requested by the Permanent Mission of India to open
Okay.
the India panel on women and child. So then there I got an opportunity to talk about our work and to
Okay.
say that it was on Gandhi, but I said, see, Gandhi did what he did in the non-violent struggle, and we are doing it still in a different way, with women
Okay.
particularly, because he said women should participate in everything, but after the freedom struggle, they went back home. In our case, that is not true. We are saying that you should continue till you live, you know. So, and you be part of every struggle and your own struggle also.
All right. So this is the video. It's all there on YouTube. All right, for all of you. And ma'am, thank you so much for your time. It's such a blessing to see such a humble person, down to earth person. You know, doing so much for the downtrodden. Ma'am, may God bless you. And anything we can work, our university, our students. All right. So can you give a small message? Anything what students can contribute, like work or research or anything for your organization from
So
home
let
just
me,
to support.
okay. Now let me think it over
Yeah.
and send some case studies maybe in Telugu. And
Okay.
they can kindly translate it and come out with some messages. So
Good.
that will be very nice. And then we will send it across to, so that, we can make websites. Both in Telangana and Andhra, we can make websites with your help. So we can
Wonderful.
come back here, do it. And here
Wonderful.
also we have many Telugu population. And
Okay.
so therefore, yeah. There are many of them speak Telugu, but different
Okay.
Telugu.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. That's
that's
it.
nice. So we'll get to that somewhere and we will collaborate. Surely.
Sure.
So thank you so much. I am very impressed with somebody as young as you, who is very committed to these social work issues. Everybody wants to go abroad and teach, and here
Mhm.
you are in Vijayawada, but VIT is a very good school. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad from now on, people are not going to go abroad, they're going to come to VIT.
Thank you.
May I bless all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. We'll keep
All
in
the
touch.
best and God bless to all your students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah.